It's early morning on Sugarloaf Mountain. The biologists and volunteers make sure they get plenty of carbs. They'll need them in the day to follow. You see, they're hot on the trail of the elusive desert tortoise. While only a snail would call a tortoise fast, the desert tortoise dens in rocks facing desert washes and other feeding areas, and that makes for a whole lot of exercise for the researchers. One volunteer has already found his first treasure, but forgoes the usual weights and measures. Don't blame him. I wouldn't want that guy mad at me either. After admiring his new friend, it's time to let him go.
I am volunteering today with the Arizona Game and Fish folks looking for desert tortoises, doing desert tortoise surveys. We found, I think we found a total of 12 live tortoises, and including 2 unmarked, so those are new to the study tortoises.
Since this area has been used for various tortoise research studies going back to 1995, finding 2 unmarked tortoises is truly remarkable.
The study was initiated in '95 through 2005, specifically looking at reproduction in desert tortoises. And so tortoises were brought back to base camp, x-rayed, and it was then determined whether they had calcified eggs, whether they would be laying eggs this year. When that study concluded in 2005, we removed the radio transmitters.
Without those radio transmitters, finding a tortoise usually consists of a lot of poking, prodding, and looking into various crevices.
And now we are just going out and keeping tabs on the population by looking for live tortoises, dead tortoises, and continuing to mark new individuals that we find and we collect.
Each newly discovered tortoise is given a unique study number, which is translated into grooves that are cut into the edge of their shells. Once that task is complete, the biologists do what biologists the world over like to do.
We collect measurements, weights, sex, and locations for these animals, and we can continue to keep track of their home ranges. On the data sheet, other things that we look for are any signs of disease or parasites. The only parasites that we've seen on tortoises out here are parasitic sandflies, and so that's just a note that we like to make. It's more of an observation. We don't do much with that other than just catalog the data. We also like to look to see if they have any signs of cutaneous dyskeratosis, which is a shell disease that is affecting tortoises in the Mojave Desert. And as far as looking for all of the health signs, upper respiratory tract disease, we look at their eyes and their nose and check their breathing to see if they have any clinical signs of upper respiratory tract disease, which again has had great impact on the Mojave population of desert tortoises.
It is illegal to remove a tortoise from the wild, and because of the risk of upper respiratory diseases contaminating native wild desert tortoise populations, it is also against the law to return a pet tortoise to the wild.